Hey everyone, JVD here from the Villains of Man, bringing you another comic book review over The Flash. This is Volume 5 under the Rebirth Banner. I'm covering issues 18, 19, and 20. Now, these are two different stories, with 18 and 19 being a story, and issue 20 being a single story. These are kind of just filler before we hit the button, which everybody's excited about. But issue 18 through 19 is called Sins of the Father. Basically, this is all about Yellow Wally Kid Flash, and trying to find out where his dad is, which is Belle Reve. If I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. I didn't really catch on to what that was. That's the Prison for the Suicide Squad that Amanda Waller runs, so I don't know why that did not dawn upon me. But I don't read Suicide Squad. But there's not a real whole lot to this story. Yellow Wally and Flash, they go there. Reverse Flash, which is Yellow Wally's dad, he's not there. So Flash runs all the way to Australia because he's tracking down Captain Boomerang. And Digger's tracking down the Weaver clan. They're a bunch of gun runners. And basically, they're going to test these new guns on the Flash while he's carrying Captain Boomerang around. While they do that, Yellow Wally uses his flash powers where he can't, phase, but he can blow stuff up with his vibrations to escape and kind of save the day. And then at the end, Digger finally tells Yellow Wally, because he feels bad because he finds out it's his dad, and he knows his dad died. Apparently it's in the Suicide Annual at this time, the first one. But he died running with a bomb, saving the Suicide Squad. So Yellow Wally's tore up about it. And the Flash doesn't really know what to do. And then he realizes, he tells Wally, turn around, because everything's been lies to him. And then he sees it's the Flash, and he hugs him, and the Flash tells him his story. Why he is the Flash, about his mom being murdered, and all this other stuff. And then Yellow Wally's like, well, you're a liar. Why don't you tell anybody this? He's trying to get you to understand, he has a secret identity. You have to keep that. And people are already finding out that, Yellow Wally is Kid Flash. And he's trying to explain this to him, and eventually he runs away, upset that, Flash is lying to him and his Aunt Iris, and Flash and Iris have been dating. So Barry is kind of at a loss. The next issue, issue 20, is called Agent Saboteur, which has got a very misleading cover to make you think that Iris West has joined Black Hole. Basically, there's this Dr. Husk and Black Hole agents. They are stealing Godspeed's victims, their bodies. They're recovering them that have been buried, the bodies that are at Star Labs Speed Force Training Center. And on a hunch, Iris goes there and catches on to this. She also finds out they're stealing Dr. Mina's research and having it all wiped out so no one can use it. And so eventually the Flash catches on, and he shows up. Well, Dr. Husk has these things that he calls tire spikes. And basically, they lock onto the Speed Force, and they interfere with the connection to the Speed Force and Barry, and it causing some pain. So, basically, he winds up getting freed from it, and they save the day. It's pretty simple, one-shot little story. But it ties into this whole, with Barry lying. Because Iris had found out there's a mole in Star Labs, which I'm assuming was the blonde doctor she knocked out. I don't know if she got onto that. And she thinks it's Barry because Barry just happened to know that they're there and show up. And she finds out when Barry shows up as himself to the crime scene that she overhears the cops talking about how he had the night off, and here he is. So she is starting to think that Barry is lying to her. So the whole theme of this book, these 3 issues here, is Barry's lying, and it's starting to affect the people he cares about, particularly both members of the West family being Iris and Wally. So there's a trend that's going on there. Also, at the end of this book, we see someone's talking. It's very scratchy writing for the character, who I'm going to assume is Dr. Carver. He's probably still alive. And he is seen there talking to Fast Track, which is Dr. Mina, who the Flash thought was killed by Godspeed. So she's alive, and she's actually an agent of Black Hole. So that makes sense why they were stealing her power. So I'm curious how this is going to turn out when Barry finds out that if she's alive, which I'm assuming he will, And I wonder if he's going to figure out that she's a member of Black Hole. So, and what's he going to do if he even finds out she's alive and he's here trying to work things out with Iris West? So, that's going to be interesting. The end of this book, the very end of it, we go back to Iron Heights and Zoom escapes, and he's going to go take revenge on Flashpoint, Batman's son. So he's going to go fight Bruce Wayne, which is going to lead us into the button. There's a really cool cover for that. Kind of maybe spoil some things if you haven't read that, so I would kind of stay away from that. But eventually, you'll get it. There's some couple of things that I'm curious about. There's a funny thing. There's a funny point in the Sins of the Father book where they're talking about Flash talking about how he's been in these walls before while they're at Iron Heights or Belleville, whichever one it is, and he says he spent some time in these walls, and he's like, "Well, how long ago was that?" Yellow Wall asks me, he says, "It's been a few Wednesdays ago," which is funny because comic books come out on Wednesday, and you would every time you read the Flash, his book comes out on Wednesday, just like everybody else. So I thought that was kind of a little good inside joke. Dr. Husk mentions the Intelligentsia, which kind of reminds me of, I can't remember the faction that's kind of named like that from Marvel. They have to do a lot with the Hulk, which is like Leader, MODOK, Red Ghost, characters like that. They've kind of got a group like that. It was real prominent there around the War Hulks storyline where all the heroes were becoming Hulks. But there's not a real lot here to these stories. Like I said, they're just filler for the most part. The Agent Saboteur kind of has will set up for the future because there's Black Hole there. I really like the weaponry that we're seeing from Black Hole to stop the Flash. And then now that we know that Mina works for them, who's been studying the Speed Force, so there's even more ways to disrupt the Flash. And I kind of see Godspeed coming back during all this. He has to. I can't see where the Flash is going to need that, or he's going to learn from him how to be in two places at once, because it seems like that's the only way he's going to get around any of this equipment. Also, we got to remember that in the story before from Rogues Reloaded, that Captain Cold had some of their technology, so who's to say he doesn't have more of that around somewhere? But like I said, you can skip 18 and 19 if you're going to read these. Just read 20 just for the fact that it's setting up some future stuff past the button, which I'm very excited to read. But other than that, yeah, not a whole lot here. Unless you like Captain Boomerang. I've always liked Captain Boomerang, but it's not really a good story. But it shows you that he really does have a heart of gold sometimes. But I'm JBD. This has been my review for Flash, Sins of the Father, and Agent Saboteur. Keep reading, guys.